Another wave of reports have emerged that other NBA teams are inquiring about Donovan Mitchell's availability on the trading block. It's a narrative that began the moment he was sent to Cleveland, and this is a topic that isn't going away anytime soon for the Cavs. Mitchell is eligible to opt out and become a free agent this summer, with all of social media holding up a bright neon sign pointing him toward the New York Knicks. And while Mitchell himself has given no indication that he is unhappy in Cleveland, the rumor mill is going to keep spinning regardless. So I felt like it was a good time to readdress this situation, once again, given the Cavaliers' current dilemma. So what exactly is going on? With Darius, Garland, and Evan Mobley set to miss an extended period of time due to injury, the Cavaliers' timeline has been brought into question. This season felt like a make-or-break year, with the core needing to prove they can take another step forward. But with their slow start and subsequent injuries, some feel like this is already a lost season. And in a year when Mitchell will be deciding his future, a lost season spells trouble for the Cavaliers. That has led to some questioning if the Cavs would be better off trading Mitchell, launching a soft reset by recouping some draft picks and taking another crack at structuring this roster around Garland and Mobley. But there are a few problems with this whole ordeal. For starters, a counter report from Yahoo Sports has already silenced the rumors, with Jake Fisher reporting that Cleveland's front office remains committed to the core four and has no current plans of trading Donovan Mitchell or even firing JB Bickerstaff. And not a single credible report has suggested that Mitchell wants out of Cleveland or that the Cavaliers are actively shopping him. All we know is teams are interested in Mitchell in the event he does become available, and in the past, Mitchell expressed interest in playing for the Knicks. But it's important to remember, Mitchell himself never requested to be traded from Utah, and he never made much of a demand to be sent to New York to begin with. To quote Tony Jones of The Athletic all the way back in 2022, Mitchell hasn't asked for a trade from the Jazz, according to sources, but if he were to be traded, sources say his preferred destination would be one of three places: the Knicks, the Nets, or the Miami Heat. This felt like a passive request at best, and I think the overall narrative has gotten out of hand when it comes to Mitchell's desire to play in New York. I'm sure Donovan Mitchell probably does want to play in New York City. I mean, why wouldn't he? Even if it wasn't his hometown, it's still the mecca of basketball. Everyone wants to play in New York. But with that being said, how many marquee free agents have the Knicks signed in the last few decades? And while the Knicks are reportedly interested in every NBA superstar who has walked the earth, how many blockbuster trades have actually been made to bring a star to the Knicks? The answer is not very many. The Brooklyn Nets have had much more success trading for star power, but their last two home run swings didn't go anywhere near as planned. And this current Nets team is not in a position to become a contender just by swinging for Donovan Mitchell alone. This brings me to a bit of speculation, but Mitchell strikes me as the type of player who has a primary focus on winning basketball games. And with that perspective, I can't see how the Nets would offer him a better chance at winning compared to the supporting cast he has in Cleveland. Not to mention, the package it would take to land Mitchell in a Knicks or Nets uniform would likely gut those teams of their talent. I think Mitchell's decision will come down to one simple factor: what team can maximize his chances at winning? This is where things get complicated and a bit unfortunate, because unless things get truly ugly, I don't see Mitchell making a formal request to be traded from Cleveland. Maybe I'm naive, but I believe Mitchell when he says he is solely focused on the season in front of him. And I honestly don't think he has made up his mind one way or another when it comes to his upcoming contract. How the Cavaliers perform in the playoffs and the makeup of this team entering the summer will likely be the determining factor for Mitchell, and I think that's totally fair. If Mitchell feels he has a better or equal chance at winning somewhere else, you can't blame him for doing what's best for him. But I reject the idea that Mitchell has his mind set on leaving Cleveland as soon as possible, and I don't think signing Mitchell to an extension is a futile hope for the Cavaliers. There's a risk to hoping Mitchell stays when he very well could leave. No one wants to be left empty-handed, but punting on arguably the second best player in franchise history for no reason other than small market anxiety doesn't seem like the kind of move a serious basketball team should be making. There is no reason to think a player of Mitchell's caliber would refuse to play in a small market. That's just the type of fluff that the national media has been pushing forever. Trading Mitchell for pennies on the dollar doesn't make this team any better, and all NBA players don't grow on trees. The Cavs might not see another player as talented as Mitchell for a long time, so trading him out of fear would be a silly decision. I think the Cavs just have to play their cards and hope that if Mitchell wants to leave, he will give the front office an opportunity to make a move. After all, it is incredibly possible Mitchell will sign his extension in Cleveland to maximize his dollar signs before putting in a trade request if there should be one in the summer. So to wrap this all back together, I don't think Mitchell has decided where he will play next season, and quite frankly, it would be a loser's mentality to assume the Cavs have no chance of re-signing him. The Cavs season is very much still alive, and Mitchell is the caliber of player who can keep them afloat through these recent injuries. I think the best possible outcome is dragging this team over the finish line, getting another playoff berth under their belt, and then addressing the future from there, because right now, Donovan Mitchell isn't going anywhere.